The first gate, the gate. Let's kick things off with the very first gate, the furs. Also known as the gat. Located on the left side of the brain. This is the very first step for a ninja to unlock their body's hidden power. When this gate opens, it temporarily removes emotional barriers, fear, self-doubt, hesitation, all that mental noise that slows you down. Once those walls come down, the ninja becomes sharper, faster, and much more powerful. Their reactions are lightning quick, and their attacks hit harder than ever. Now, the side effects of this gate are pretty mild. You might feel a bit tired after. But that's it, nothing too crazy. Because of that, the first gate is considered the safest one among the 8 gates, and it's also the most commonly used. In fact, some ninjas can accidentally open this gate under extreme stress or desperation. For example, it's said that Kakashi once unintentionally opened the first gate when trying to climb a mountain in pure despair. A famous technique that uses this gate is front lotus, omit renge. The user ties up their opponent with bandages, launches them high into the air, spins rapidly, and then drives their head straight into the ground. It's a brutal, high-speed move that can completely overwhelm an opponent. But here's the catch, because it's so fast and forceful, the user can't defend themselves right after performing it. That's why Might Guy once forbade Rock Lee from using this move against Sasuke. It was just too dangerous. The second gate, the Gate of Healing. Next up, we've got the second gate, or the Gate of Healing, located on the right side of the brain. Unlike the first one, which mainly removes psychological barriers, this gate focuses on restoration. It revitalizes the user, recharging their physical stamina and renewing their energy reserves. Opening this gate gives a shinobi an explosive boost of vitality. They don't get tired as quickly, and their endurance increases dramatically. That means longer, more intense battles become possible. In other words, the second gate is like slamming a Red Bull straight into your chakra system. Now, the side effects of the second gate aren't well documented. It might cause mild fatigue after prolonged use, but it doesn't seem to cause immediate physical harm. Instead, it acts as a stabilizer, a kind of support system that allows the user to transition safely into the higher, more destructive gates later on. Interestingly, there's no specific signature technique tied to this gate alone. Instead, it's often used in combination with other gates to maintain stamina for extended attacks. One classic example is Lee opening the second gate right before using the reverse lotus, ensuring he had enough energy to execute the move without collapsing midway. The third gate, the Gate of Life. Now things start to get serious. The third gate, known as the Gate of Life, sits at the top of the spine. This gate marks a dramatic turning point in battle. When activated, it massively boosts the body's blood circulation, leading to a striking physical transformation. The user's skin turns red, veins bulge, and their hair spikes up as energy surges through them. At this stage, the ninja's speed and reflexes hit near superhuman levels. Movements become so fast that even top-tier opponents struggle to keep up. But of course, that kind of power doesn't come free. Once the gate closes, the user experiences extreme exhaustion, even total collapse, due to overexertion. The signature move associated with this gate is Reverse Lotus, Ura Renge. It's a savage, upgraded version of the front lotus, a furious chain of rapid strikes that ends by slamming the opponent into the ground with devastating force. One of the most iconic moments featuring this gate was during the Chunin exams, when Rock Lee faced off against Gaara. By opening the third gate, Lee reached a level of speed so insane that even Gaara's automatic sand defense, known for reacting faster than any human reflex, could barely keep up. What made it even more shocking was that Sasuke Uchiha, who had just copied Lee's basic movements, couldn't follow him at all. That moment defined the sheer difference in power that the gates could bring to a fight. The fourth gate, the Gate of Pain. The fourth gate, also known as the Gate of Pain, lies lower down along the spine. And honestly, the name says it all. When this gate opens, the body is forced past its natural physical limits. Muscles operate at extreme intensity, far beyond what they're built to handle. As a result, the user's strength, speed, and agility increase tremendously, but the pain is almost unbearable. The body starts breaking down under its own power, muscles tear, blood vessels burst, and bleeding can occur from the nose or mouth. See, while the first three gates were mainly about removing limits and boosting energy, the fourth gate crosses into a whole new territory. Here, the body starts destroying itself from within. Still, for those desperate enough, it's worth it. The Gate of Pain dramatically amplifies the power of Reverse Lotus, turning it into a truly destructive technique. During his battle with Gaara, Rock Lee opened this gate and finally managed to pierce through Gaara's sand armor for the very first time, delivering real physical damage. That scene perfectly captured Lee's unshakable determination. He was willing to endure excruciating pain, even risk permanent injury, just for a chance to win. The fifth gate, the Gate of Limit. Now we reach the fifth gate, called the Gate of Limit, located in the lower back near the abdomen. This gate is where things transition from simply enhancing strength to unleashing total destruction. While the earlier gates gradually ramp up power, the fifth gate throws everything into overdrive. When opened, the user's muscles contract violently, forcing the body into a full overload state. The result? A final, all-out burst of power capable of ending a battle in one decisive move. But the cost is brutal. Bones can snap, muscles can rip, and sometimes the force is so extreme that the body literally breaks from within. Under Might Guy's training, Rock Lee managed to master opening the first 5 gates, a feat unheard of for someone at the Genin level. During his legendary battle against Gaara, Lee shocked everyone. He dropped his training weights, then began unlocking the gates one by one. Gate 1. Opening Gate. His movements became smooth and fast. Gate 2. Healing Gate. His energy exploded. Gate 3. Life Gate. His skin flushed red. Veins surged. Gate 4. Pain Gate. His attacks shattered Gaara's defenses. And then, Gate 5, Limit Gate. With the fifth gate, Lee unleashed Hidden Lotus, Omet Renge Kai, an aerial barrage of rapid, bone-shattering blows that left the audience, and even the judges, speechless. A genin moving faster than Gaara's sand? Impossible, but there it was. For a moment, it looked like Lee would actually win. But then came the aftermath, the harsh reality of the gate's power. In his desperate push to finish the fight, Lee's body gave out. His arms and legs were left severely injured, nearly ending his life as a ninja altogether. That heartbreaking moment revealed the true nature of the fifth gate. It grants immense power at an unbearable cost. The sixth gate, the Gate of View. Now, let's move on to the sixth gate, known as the Gate of View. Located along the spine near the stomach area. Things start to get crazy here. This is where the body's limits aren't just stretched. They're obliterated. Unlike the earlier gates that focus mainly on boosting strength or speed, the sixth gate enhances every physical attribute at once: power, speed, endurance, agility, and reaction time. The moment it's opened, the user's entire chakra aura changes dramatically. It flares into a bright blue-green blaze. And the sheer energy radiating from them is so intense that it can literally push back the surrounding water or air. At this point, the shinobi operates on a completely different level, reaching the kind of power that rivals elite high-ranking warriors. Their movements create visible shockwaves, and every strike carries devastating force. But like every gate, this power comes with a price. Though the series doesn't explicitly describe all of its side effects, it's understood that the stress on the body is immense. Muscles tear apart, stamina burns out rapidly, and internal organs can start to suffer real damage. The iconic move tied to this gate is Morning Peacock, Asa Kujaku. It's one of the most visually stunning taijutsu techniques ever. The user throws a barrage of high-speed punches so fast that the air itself ignites, creating a blazing storm of fiery punches that rain down like meteors. Imagine your fists moving so fast they literally set the atmosphere on fire. That's Morning Peacock. Might Guy famously used this technique against Kisame Hoshigaki. His punches were so fast and intense that Kisame couldn't even react. He was completely overwhelmed in seconds. It was one of those moments where you realize, this isn't just a power-up anymore. It's a glimpse of superhuman mastery. The sixth gate is a milestone, the moment a shinobi truly steps beyond human limits. The seventh gate, the Gate of Wonder. Next comes the seventh gate, the Gate of Wonder, located just below the stomach, still along the spine. When this one opens, the transformation is even more intense. The user's body begins to emit steam, a thick, blue-green mist that rises from the skin. It's not just chakra, it's literally sweat evaporating from the immense heat generated by the explosive energy output. The body becomes a living furnace, burning everything it has to sustain that overwhelming power. The strength, speed, and durability boost here are insane. The user can now move and strike with force rivaling the most powerful shinobi in existence. We're talking about the level where you could stand toe-to-toe with the best in the world. But again, this power burns fast. The longer the gate stays open, the more catastrophic the damage becomes. Muscles rip apart, the cardiovascular system is pushed to the brink, and the internal organs can begin to fail. The most iconic technique linked to this gate is Daytime Tiger, Harudora. Unlike previous moves that required physical contact, Daytime Tiger is a ranged attack. The user compresses air with a single punch, condensing it into a massive shockwave shaped like a roaring tiger. When it's released, it explodes forward with devastating force, destroying everything in its path. During his fight against Kisame, Might Guy unleashed this very technique. The explosion was so powerful that Kisame, one of the most durable and feared ninja in the Akatsuki, was left completely incapacitated, unable to move or fight back. That battle cemented Guy's reputation as the noble green beast of Konoha, a warrior who didn't rely on ninjutsu or genjutsu, but on pure effort, grit, and taijutsu mastery. He proved that through relentless training and unshakable willpower, even a man with no flashy powers could rival legends. The seventh gate stands as the last threshold before total destruction, and it's a point very few ever reach. The eighth gate, the Gate of Death. And finally, the last one, the eighth gate, also known as the Gate of Death. This is the ultimate gate, the final step, the absolute peak of human potential and sacrifice. This gate is located right at the heart, and it's exactly as terrifying as it sounds. Unlike the previous gates that gradually boost physical power, the eighth gate tears down every limitation your body has. It releases 100% of your life energy all at once, power so overwhelming that even the 5 kage, the strongest shinobi leaders, would struggle to match it. When opened, the user's body enters an overload state, every cell burns at full capacity. Chakra explodes outward like wildfire, and the blood inside their body literally begins to boil and evaporate. The result is a fiery, red aura surrounding the user, almost like they've turned into a living flame. But here's the tragedy: once the gate closes, the body shuts down completely. The price for that godlike power is death. The eighth gate allows access to 2 legendary techniques. The first is Evening Elephant, Sekizo, a series of 5 consecutive shockwave punches, each one stronger and faster than the last. These punches compress the air to an extreme degree, generating destructive blasts capable of obliterating anything caught in them. The second technique is Night Guy, Yagai, the ultimate finishing move. The user channels all remaining energy into one final, universe-bending kick. The force of that kick is so intense that it warps space itself, creating afterimages of a red dragon twisting through the air. It's not just a strike, it's a cataclysm. The most legendary use of the eighth gate occurred during the Fourth Great Ninja War, when Might Guy faced Madara Uchiha, who, at that point, had reached godhood as the 10 Tails Jinchuriki. No one could even touch him. But Guy, fully aware of the cost, made his final choice. He opened the Gate of Death. In that instant, Guy transformed. His aura burned red hot, his body radiating enough heat to scorch the earth beneath his feet. The shockwaves of his movements shook the battlefield. For the first time, Madara, the ultimate warrior, looked genuinely afraid. Guy unleashed the Evening Elephant, 5 bone-crushing shockwaves that staggered Madara, breaking through his divine defenses. And then came Night Guy, a single, all-out kick that twisted space itself, nearly obliterating Madara's body. The attack was so powerful that Madara, in awe, called Guy the strongest taijutsu user I've ever faced. But as the power faded, Guy's body started to disintegrate, muscles torn, blood evaporating, life burning away. Yet he didn't regret it. He smiled, knowing he'd given everything to protect his comrades. Miraculously, fate had other plans. Naruto, newly empowered by the Sage of 6 Paths, intervened and used his life energy to save Guy, making him the only person in history to survive after opening the 8th gate. Though his days as an active ninja ended there, his legacy lived on forever. Before Guy, there was another man who embodied the same unbreakable spirit, his father, Might Dewey. Unlike his son, Dewey wasn't a recognized prodigy. He was just a genin, the lowest rank of ninja, often looked down upon by others. But he never let that define him. While most people saw him as weak, he spent decades training in secret, mastering the 8 gates, a forbidden technique few even dared to attempt. One day, his moment came. Dewey and his son were ambushed by the 7 ninja swordsmen of the Mist, a group of elite warriors known for their terrifying swordsmanship. Completely outmatched, Dewey made the ultimate choice. He opened the 8th gate of death. The battle that followed was pure chaos. Dewey single-handedly destroyed 6 of the 7 swordsmen, saving his son and comrades at the cost of his own life. His body burned away in that final blaze of glory, but his will became eternal. That act of sacrifice didn't just save Guy, it defined him. It showed that the 8 gates weren't just about power, but about resolve, the willingness to give everything for what you believe in. From then on, Might Guy carried his father's legacy, living proof that effort can surpass talent, and that even an ordinary person can achieve extraordinary greatness through relentless hard work. Now, let's shift gears a bit. You might be thinking, sure, this all sounds awesome in anime, but is there any real-world basis for something like the 8 gates? Surprisingly, yes. The concept of unlocking hidden physical potential isn't just fantasy, it's loosely inspired by real science. There's an actual phenomenon known as hysterical strength, or what some call the adrenaline surge. It happens when a person in a life or death situation suddenly performs feats that seem impossible under normal conditions, like a parent lifting a cart to save a trapped child. What's really happening is that during extreme stress, the body floods itself with adrenaline and cortisol, hormones that remove the brain's natural safety limiters. Normally, your body only allows you to use about 60% of your total muscle capacity. That's to prevent injuries. But under panic or desperation, those mental brakes come off. And for a few seconds, humans can perform with almost superhuman power. Sound familiar? That's basically the first and second gates in real life, removing mental and physical barriers to unleash short bursts of full potential. As for the later gates, where the body starts to physically break down from overexertion, that's also grounded in biology. Extreme overuse of muscles leads to a condition called rhabdomyolysis, where muscle fibers literally tear apart, releasing toxic proteins into the bloodstream. It's painful, dangerous, and can even lead to organ failure. So yeah, when you see Rock Lee bleeding and collapsing after pushing past the 5th gate, that's not just anime dramatization. That's what happens when the body goes way beyond safe limits. And that's the full story behind the 8 inner gates in Naruto. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the lore, the science, and the philosophy behind it, make sure to drop a like. Subscribe for more long-form anime breakdowns. And hit that notifica. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay strong, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.